Good morning. First of all, thank you very much, Sabesh and Kautuk, for starting this MLX India community. Like, it's a very big thing. Like, I started working on MLX back in February 2025. So at that time, there was no one there to talk about or share about the stuff. It was just one or two people in India who were working during that time. Uh, cool. So my name is Raj, by the way, and I'm an iOS engineer, and I work at Logo. It's a live streaming platform basically for gamers and entertainers. And also, I'm a Swift community organizer for Bangalore and Mumbai. I'm from Mumbai, so I work like I'm from Mumbai actually. So I organized there. Now I shifted to Bangalore, so Bangalore was there. So yeah, so what's this is what I'm going to talk about. It's basically all about MLX Swift, integrating MLX Swift LM, and the bottom line. So first of all about MLX Swift. We'll be talking about what is MLX, why is MLX Swift, the MLX Swift LM, and the applications on iOS and macOS basically. So like as Sabesh kind of introduced what is MLX basically. So MLX is all about Apple Silicon, running Apple Silicon models on macOS. It's the core foundation basically. It's made on Python, and mainly it is the framework that is used for training and inference of models, fine-tuning, quantization, and a lot of things. MLX Swift is what that provides toolbox for platforms, Apple OS platforms. It's made of based on Swift, and a lot of customization is available, and obviously Swift is faster than Python. What is MLX Swift LM? It's a package that provides high-level APIs. It's made on top of MLX Swift, obviously. It has a platform integration support, supports iOS 17 and macOS 14 and above. And it has a do-it-yourself customization. You can call tool calling, you can do KV cache, and a lot of things there are available in that framework pack. So, how to use and what to use and when to use it. So if you want to convert a Hugging Face model and just quantize it, use MLX. Build training models for the app, use MLX Swift with, there are more frameworks in iOS as well, that is Core ML, Create ML as well. You can just combine and make some great models out of it. And integrating all that into an app, use MLX Swift LM. So integrating MLX Swift LM basically. I'll go through over how it is powered. We'll have a code snippet, some mind demo as well about like an LLM integration and VLM integration. So this is how the MLX Swift LM is kind of layered, the structure, the package is layered. It has 4 packages combined. This is MLX LM common that contains the common API usages for LLM and VLM. VLM is a visual language model. And then there are 2 packages dedicated to that. And then there is MLX embedders. With that, you can integrate RAG and all those kind of stuff. So prerequisites. So I started MLX Swift back in February 2025. Back then, we did not have Opus 4.5 or something. We were using Sonnet 3.5, that old days. And it was earlier named as MLX libraries and not MLX Swift LM. Now it moved to like Swift LM. And the documentation was, oh my god, totally crap. So we had to dig in and go into the DOSI implementations and just look how to just integrate an app basically. The prerequisites are like make sure you have a Metal 3 Apple Silicon supported device. Without that, you cannot run. You obviously need to have Xcode to run the app. Install MLX Swift Hugging Face and tokenizers packages as well. Install a Metal toolchain because that's what will help you to run these models, local models. So back then iPhone 17 was also not released in February 2025, as you know. Like I ran that on my iPhone 12 device because I had that and it was a Metal 3 supported device luckily. And Apple Intelligence also, there was no support of running local models at that time in February 2025. How to integrate? So how I integrated the LLM integration, I'll tell you. So MLX library is the legacy way that how I implemented. So basically, I created an app for fun, like it's called TLDR Buddy. It was available on App Store. Now I closed it out, and I have a demo with that as well. So this is a legacy way of integrating a local language model into your iOS device, into your app basically. First of all, you import some packages, that is the MLX common, MLX LM common, and LLM packages basically. You load the model. So if you see, you load the model with some GPU cache limit because this runs on Metal. So there is some caching limit that MLX provides you. You can set some caching limit, and you can load there are a lot of models you can load. Basically, you need to have it 4-bit quantized basically. I loaded a 1 billion Llama 3.2 model because that's what could support my iPhone 12 in a 4 GB RAM. If I run a 3 billion, it will crash basically because it's a low-end device model nowadays. And then simply you load that model. You have some prompt. Basically, you create a user input prompt. Just insert that prompt. You prepare the context, and then just let MLX common framework generate that output basically. You can also change the temperatures. You can change the KV sampling and E sampling rates and all that stuff within the framework, and just that's it. You integrated an LLM into your app. That's simple. And this is a demo I would like to show. I just extract a text. I open the app. I click share button and I open the app, TLDR. It will just summarize it. This is running actually on an iPhone 12, so it takes a bit time because it's a 1 billion parameter model. Yeah, and it summarizes everything on device without Wi-Fi, everything. And yeah, you can also share it and all that stuff. So this was the legacy way of doing it. As you know, this is the legacy architecture. That was what I used for implementing. But now things have been changed. Like it was MLXSwift libraries, and now it is like MLXSwift LM. So we got some more packages included. MLX Hugging Face, and some tokenizers for the obvious tokenization work. It helps for model downloading capabilities and all that stuff. So let's go through the new way of integration basically. The number of packages increased while importing. It's a very ugly syntax, but that Apple provides, but it's the way. You load the model again. The syntax has a bit changed, like since it is iOS 17 now, iOS 17 got introduced with macros in Swift, basically. So a lot of weight has been handled by the frameworks of loading the model configurations and all that stuff internally. And basically, it is more concurrent in the API use. Like Swift concurrency is some stuff basically that is used to overload the work of this model generation and all that stuff. It's similarly how you just create an async stream and then let the output generate. That's how it is done basically. So this is the LLM integration part. Now let's go on to the VLM. You can also integrate VLM in your app as well. So similarly, same way of importing packages, same way of loading. We are using a small VLM instruct 4-bit model here. And to describe like what the image is, you need to pass in the image URL basically, and similar way of how the LLM generation is. It's the only difference is you insert a prompt as well as an image. That's the difference. And the text generation is done automatically with the help of the functions that are provided. So that's how you integrate a VLM and LLM simply using MLXSwift. Now the bottom line. Like in WWDC 25, Apple introduced a foundational model frameworks. But those are only supported on Apple Intelligence device, that is iPhone 15 Pro onwards. And it revolutionized, to be honest, like on-device models and all. Like it's a 3 billion parameter model in your device. supporting a token limit of 4,000 96 tokens. It came pre-installed with your OS, single model, easy structured output, built-in tool calling, everything. And it kind of took the limelight of MLXSwift, to be honest, because it is very powerful. It's very swifty for us users because we are iOS developers, so we want more better APIs rather than the traditional way of MLXSwift implementing it. So how you can integrate with the help of foundation model? What changed basically? So you just import foundation models. This is it. It's a 3-line stuff that Apple extracted everything from MLXSwift. So did MLXSwift got sharelocked by Apple itself? The answer is no. Because MLXSwift provides you the flexibility that foundational models cannot provide you. You can use a custom model in MLXSwift. Foundational model, we don't know what is the model. We don't know can it have some customizations that we want to do. Yeah, we can handle temperature and all that stuff, but if you want to quantize it on your own, the LoRa, lower ranking and all that stuff, can you do it? No. That's where MLXSwift comes into power basically. And that helps you to leverage your models. Also, like Apple Intelligence came in 2025 in June 2025, and it only supports iOS 26 devices. But let's say if you want to support iOS 17, 18, MLXSwift comes into picture. MLXSwift obviously has some backdrops because it's the devices supported iOS 16, like Apple always has updated their there are people who update their devices and OSs all the time. So it's a bit less user, but people do use, there are some enthusiastic who use that stuff. So basically when to use and when not to use. Basically, if you want to support iOS 16 and above, MLXSwift LM is the way to integrate LLM models, VLM models into your app. There's a slight I would say backdrop to it. Flexibility and easy of use foundation models that I would recommend. Both is also possible, but do you really want to? Because your UX can suffer. Basically, you have to make your user wait to download the model, because you have to download the model in MLXSwift LM, and in foundation model the model comes into the OS itself only. So there's no waiting period of downloading the model and all that stuff. Yeah, so I guess that's all for this thing. Any questions you have, folks? Cool, then I guess we'll wrap up. Thank you very much. Say hi to me on Twitter. Thank you.
They could have Sahil.